Hey guys, welcome back to the Interceptor, and we are doing another itemless path today. So this was actually on 7.1.3, or sorry, 7.3.3, which is one of the harder maps. I've only tried the fourth map twice, and I finished half the paths. And I finished one of two paths, so I finished the path half the time. This one took a few attempts. I tried this path twice on stream, once dying at actually both times dying at Sasquatch, and I was not running suicides, so I thought that if I was using Ghost, so I brought in a similar team. The team is double Ghost plus Wasp, and then I have Diablo and Human Torch, and hopefully this team will do well. So the nodes on this path, the two that are important at least, are Stunning Reflection and Mixmaster, and then there's also the node where the opponent's ability accuracy on evades and auto blocks is higher, and if either of those trigger, they will gain power. I'm not really sure what that node's called. Maybe I show it here. I'm going to play the video. But yeah, I did do this like a half hour ago, so it's pretty easy. Oh, there we go. Stunning Reflection, Parry Vulnerability is the other one. So if you deactivate the Stunning Reflection, or you're using a Stun Immune champion, you can parry to get a Fury buff. So this is a pretty straightforward path with Ghost. I'm actually just going to turn off my face cam. There's really not much to this fight. This fight is actually one of the easier ones because you can just block the last hit of the L1 if you need to regen, which is really nice. And basically I'm just sticking to double phase and then either one medium or just one medium attack. Working really well. We're building up a few cruelties, and then right there, when I need to regen back my recoil, I've got that power green. So whatever it is. I think it's sort of innovative, but it doesn't like fully shut down your combat power rate, it just lowers it. But either way, yeah, this is a very straightforward Ghost fight. I think I'm going to end the fight with like 96%, because I'm going to throw one more L2, which is not going to go right here. So there we go. This is not going to kill. But yeah, I'm going to take recoil, and then I think I end at 96. So you cannot phase the full L1 if you're like dashing into it, but you can phase it all and then dex the last hit. So that works really well if you want to take no damage, but if you need to regen, just phase it all and then block the last hit, and you're good. Now we're going to go on to the easiest fight on the path. Actually, no. Second easiest. Second easiest, because there's a fight later on that's just even easier. Which is Jane Foster, and I actually ended up taking a few hits in this fight with Ghost. If I could do this fight again, I think what I would do is I would bring Odin for the protection buff on Ghost, rather than having 5-star Ghost, because I turned out to not use 5-star Ghost even on the boss. I ended up soloing the boss in this path with 4-star Ghost, who does every single fight. But yeah, good to have that backup. And I was just I was running suicides because I took War. I took the War boss with Ghost, which I don't know if I'm gonna be posting. I did record it. But I might not post it, I don't know. But this was like 2 hours later, so I was obviously not boosted, as you can see. Once I come into this fight, you'll be able to get boosted. 2, kill. Beautiful fight. And Foster goes down, and we're already a third down the path, only losing 21% on one of our champions. So yeah, you can see I'm not boosted. We'll go up to Punisher 2099, which was surprisingly easy. Honestly, I expected this fight, other than Sasquatch, to be the hardest fight, and it was not. Like, it just wasn't that bad. Honestly, the hardest fight other than Sasquatch was Sigil Witch, which you guys will see. That becomes a little problematic with Ghost. But yeah, we are going to go in here with 6-star Ghost, and honestly, the block damage is not that bad. I expected it to be way worse. So I'll take it. So far, this has gone exactly the same as my attempts on stream. The difference is who I choose to use against Sasquatch. So there you'll see I got clipped a little bit. But because the last hit I used was a light attack, before that I was able to run my medium, and I knew that. So here I'm going to throw my L2 intentionally to push him over 2 bars, because if you did not know, against Punisher 2099, his L2 deals less than double the damage in the block of the L1. So the 2 L1s do more block damage than 1 L2. So it's always smarter if you plan to block the specials to push to a special 2. However, if you plan to phase it all like that, Ghost can phase it all. I messed that up. You'll see later. I think I do it correctly. But yeah, it's pretty nice. And he is going to go down, so I'm going to try to get to an L2 with him getting him there. But unfortunately, he's not getting into my phase very much. But I don't think he throws the L2. That's nice. So I actually didn't fully evade one, but we're down to 40% with Ghost. 100% my fault. I could have walked out that fight only losing 10% or 15% of my health. And then this Sasquatch, I am running suicides, but Torch is going to do pretty well here. I do play pretty badly. Which is why I end up dying to this fight, and I have to clean up with Diablo, which is his only fight, but that's literally what he was here for. He was here for backup on Sasquatch. Yeah, it's pretty nice. So we're getting that Fury, which is nice, and then here he just won't hit into my block, which sucks. But there I may try medium to go next. Everything's going good so far, but I'm just going to start playing badly. Right there. I accidentally hit a parry, which is not great, but luckily, because I had Smolder, I actually incinerate on him, which is really nice. And then I use a heavy attack to build my charges. There I should have done that out to disable stunning effect. You know, go back in time, right? And then here I think he's going to evade my medium. Oh no, he's not. That must be later when that happens. And there I actually intentionally triggered it because I wanted him to throw the L1 so that my following combo I'd have an opening. The light attack, so I can get an opening here. And then there I missed my parry, and I went in for a medium. And it looks like I'm about to die, but I am going to survive for quite a while. Lucky, and then right there, if I'd thrown a medium into him, I would have died because he would have gone to 3. So there, we're just going to try to milk whatever damage we can get. Block, and he does throw the L3. Oh, actually, no, I died from recoil before he could throw the L3. But now it's 77k. If you go in with Ghost here, you will not out damage it unless you have tech boosts. Do not go in if you die with Torch. Use someone else like Diablo. The poisons shut down the healing. Now this is an excruciatingly long fight in which I play absolutely horrible. But because it's Diablo and he is immortal, I walk out with like almost all of my health. I'm gonna skip. This is quite a long fight. I'm gonna skip forward to the end. Like, look at how long that is. There we go. And I'll show you how he dies. I threw the L3. I stacked up 13 poisons. He's losing 6,000 health a second. And I'm also stopping his regeneration with the poisons. So, yeah, long fight. I badly misplayed it. But Diablo can solo that fight if you don't have a Human Torch. As for Human Torch using the pre-fight there, you would have to be doing medium-light combos the entire fight, because you wouldn't be able to trigger incinerates on the opponent with the pre-fight. But yeah, it's pretty simple. This is actually the easiest fight. I knew that when I lost all that health on Jane Foster and Punisher 2099, that I would regen back to full health against this fight. So I was not even slightly worried for that reason. So I'm going to get the L2 debuff here. So I have 2 debuffs on myself. I'm healing 498. Sorry, I don't even remember what that was. But yeah, I'm just healing from recoil here, and it's going to heal me all the way back to full health. Look, 445 healing per second while I have this after he uses an L1, and just look at how fast my health is shooting up. It's crazy. We're going to go for 1 L3 here, just because I don't want to throw back-to-back L2s, or else that L2 charge can go passive. So we're going to save to our L3. And Ghost just works so well for this path because Stunning Reflection, you either have to inflict a poison or an Incinerate to disable the shield. And Ghost just ignores it because Ghost never has to parry. Ghost shuts down Mix faster because she counters evade. So if you use Ghost and you never get evaded, there's literally nothing hard to get about this fight. If it was not for Sasquatch, you could Ghost everyone on this path. And you can Ghost that Sasquatch if you're using tech boosts, but I strongly do not recommend that because this whole series is about completing content itemless, and that would not be itemless, of course. So there, he was another L1. I threw my L1 just because I knew that I would recover from the recoil with all the debuffs I had on me, and it was faster than waiting through an L3 animation. So I'm going to go L2, L1, and then there I have a taunt on me. So I'm gonna wait it out, and then I'm gonna throw my L2 because my attack is obviously much lower while I'm taunted. So here I'm gonna dash, throw L2, which even with the weakness, honestly does really good damage. And I'm gonna walk out of this fight with 100% health on Ghost, which was just incredible. And I don't think I'm even gonna throw another special attack. I think I'm just gonna let my hits go. Yeah. And there I have 5 debuffs. If you notice that the timing on the pause there was really weird, I actually paused it for about 2.5 minutes, but I didn't want to sit here and have you guys have you guys watch 2.5 minutes of pause. So I just went into iMovie and I cut out that clip, and then I just restarted the clip at the moment that I unpaused. But basically I was just dealing with something in my room. So I was pausing it to go deal with that. But yeah, now we're up against Scarlet Witch, and I know that Scarlet Witch is going to inflict an armor break on me sometimes. So we just have to watch out for that. But the first time it happened, I actually ended up getting clipped because I forgot. And I was like, oh yeah, she does that. So here I'm just going to wait out for my evade counter. We get it. She actually gives me a cruelty buff, which gets turned into the armor break. And then right here I hit a parry by accident, and it does not look like I'm in a nice place. But luckily I have all that adrenaline, so I'm going to heal back all the way up from 28% to 47. This L3 is not going to hit super hard, but just wait to see what happens next. This is crazy, and this is one of the reasons I don't think Scarlet Witch is a great attacker. Defender. I actually fought her this past war, but she gives you buffs, and it turns out that the potency of those buffs is absolutely ludicrous. They are crazy potent, the buffs that she gives you, even when she armor breaks you sometimes, which is alright. The buffs that she gives you, oh man, they are insane. Look at this prowess. You think this prowess is potent? Just wait. Yeah, 54k. That almost tripled my L2 damage. That's how strong that prowess is that she gave me. I still would have won the fight. It just would have taken another 30 seconds if I didn't have that prowess. But yeah. And now we're actually going to go for the hardest of the 3 bosses, just because I knew I had to get this done on one path. And I had not yet seen anyone take this fight with Ghost, but I knew it was obviously very possible. So I am going to use Ghost for the SpiderHam. And I debated bringing in like a white Magneto. And then I just thought, no, I'd rather bring Nick Fury because worst case scenario, he can shrug off all the debuffs that I get from the node. And I was wondering who to take out. It was either going to be 6-star Ghost or Diablo. And then I realized Diablo class disadvantage. Champ benefits from throwing special attacks. Probably not the one to use against a node or a fight where every time you gain a bar of power, you gain a power sting debuff. So SpiderHam, obviously, as you guys know, has pretty crazy physical resistance, which is weird because he's so small. But yeah, the Ghost just doesn't hit him very hard. And here I was kind of not really used to parrying, because I'd just done a full path where I was not allowed to ever parry. And then right here I get my Porker's Popper, but I let him hit into me too many times in the phase, and then I actually get caught in a medium dash back. So it looks like I'm in a bad spot, but I'm actually going to end up baiting out an L1 right here when I phase, which is perfect, because now I get out of the corner and he no longer has too much power. I also am going to... So right there, I did not have a power sting. I only had a taunt on me, so I knew I could safely throw my special attack. But when I get cornered later on in the fight, you're going to notice that while I have my passive precision, I'm going to be hitting into SpiderHam's block to push him back. And he actually cannot evade even though it's a block hit because of Ghost's abilities, which is one of the most overlooked abilities that Ghost has, is that your hit doesn't have to connect to shut down evade, which makes her one of the best ways to shut down Nightcrawler's evade. So even an unduped Nightcrawler, you can just take the hits. So for example, unduped Nightcrawler dashes back, you can do medium, light, medium, and intentionally finish a medium into his block, because 4 hits with him being unduped is not enough to switch him. And that will actually switch an unduped Nightcrawler. Now you will take hits to the face for it, but if it's on a node, like, I'll give you a good example where that's useful. So back in Stubborn era, I took Nightcrawler, an unduped rank 3 6-star Nightcrawler, on the Limber Brute Force node. And I actually ended up, I did die to the fight, but my strategy for switching the stance was that I would switch his stance by doing exactly that. But yeah, I'm getting really off topic, but basically this is a very straightforward fight with Ghost. You're safe because you're pretty much always healing 300 health a second from those power stings. And then right here I was going to do an L2, and it worked out nicely. And that one actually hits pretty hard. I do not have a single point in Assassin, but I do have 3 out of 3 in... what's that mastery where you're doing extra health or extra damage when you're low on health? I forget what it's called, but it's that mastery. I have that maxed, like I said, because my last 4 was a Ghost War. I actually used Doom for 1, 2, 3 of my first 5 fights, and then I used Ghost for my last 4, so I turned on suicides at that point. And then here, there we go. We do get the solo. So she is not the best option. I think the best option is someone that shrugs off debuffs. Honestly, Fury, super solid for that fight. Just become unblockable, and then anytime you need to shrug off a debuff to throw a special attack, you just throw a heavy attack first. And yeah, that path is done. Itemless, 7.3.3 Mixmaster Stunning Reflection path with Parry vulnerability, and then Sixth Sense, is that called? I actually don't know what the node's called. But yeah, that is it for that path. I will be live later today streaming hopefully 100% exploration of this and the next map. But yeah, that's going to be it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.